What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Whitmer here, and welcome into the first kind of these videos. So the first rollout here on the channel, I didn't really plan it like this, were the trailer reactions. Those were just easy to do. Hey, trailer comes out, talk about it for about 10 minutes or so, not even, maybe 6 to 10. Boom, there it is. The second phase, and this is in that of videos I want to do here on the channel, are where I talk about different news things, different movies, TV shows that are going on, talk about the news, what I think, where's it going, what could they do with future movies like Marvel and DC, but not just to those movies. And this is the first of those that I'm going to do. So I will say, first off, this is not the final, like, ooh, this is exactly what they're going to be each and every time. I'm going to be playing with the formula. I'm going to be doing like, oh, I don't like this, I like this. So stick with me early on as I kind of venture my way through this. But before we get into everything, same thing as always, Discord down below. Join the greatest community in the universe, the MVP Discord. If you want to support us, Patreon's down there too. Hit the sub button if you love this video. Hit the like button if you like it. And anything we talk about or I talk about today, just go ahead and give me a comment down below. What do you think? And this video is about the Fantastic Four. I know it's been a hot minute since we've gotten, it was Valentine's Day where we got the casting news, but I was doing that, and then it was like there was more news that, or not news, really like speculation that came out. So I'm like, I got to do a little bit of more due diligence on this before I just, boom, spit a video out to you guys. So there's about a couple things. There's actually 4 things that I want to talk about with this, and I'm going to kind of label them. We're going to go case by case. The first one is the first thing we know. It's the cast of the movie. What are we getting? And it was a nice picture that was displayed on Twitter. That's where they kind of rolled it out, and then it went everywhere else when people got it. Of Valentine's Day, we got the Fantastic Four, we got our casting, and it looked like Reed Richards is going to be played by Pedro Pascal. We have Suzanne Storm, Invisible Woman, is going to be Vanessa Kirby. Then Johnny Storm, Human Torch, is going to be Joseph Quinn. And then the Thing, Ben Grimm, is going to be, and I'm going to mess up this name, even though I love him in The Bear, but Eben Moss-Bachrach? Is it Bachrach? Is it Bachrach? Like my musical background wants to say Bachrach because Bach is Bach, B-A-C-H, but Bachrach, however you want to pronounce it, please tell me the right way down below. But we got our Fantastic Four. There they are. And the first thing I kind of want to take a look at is this cast and what I initially think of them. And I know this isn't just raw reaction. I've had a while to think about it. But so we have Pedro Pascal. Some of the things that people may know him from, obviously, he's the megastar out of this. Game of Thrones, Mandalorian, Last of Us. He was in Wonder Woman. He was in Narcos. He's all over the place. He almost was in Daredevil, but he chose Narcos, a bigger role in Narcos over a lesser role in the Daredevil Netflix series. Then we have Vanessa Kirby, where I kind of had to do a little digging on this one. Not like, oh, what has she been in? Because she's been in like The Crown. But like, I'll be honest, I didn't watch The Crown. So I'm like, okay, what has she been in that I've seen? She's been in The Crown. She's been in Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. Saw that, liked her in that as Hattie. And then she was in Mission Impossible Fallout, the one with Henry Cavill in it. And it's like the only one out of those, I'm like, okay, only movie I've really seen there with her is Hobbs and Shaw. I liked her as Hattie. Then we got Joseph Quinn. He was in Game of Thrones. He was in Les Mis. Everyone knows him, though, from his role as, I think it was Eddie in Stranger Things. Stranger Things was a show I kind of fell off on, didn't watch the newest season, so I knew he was in it. I just haven't seen him as, I think Eddie is his character's name. Correct me down below, Stranger Things fan. And then obviously Eben Moss-Bachrach, where he was in The Bear, No Hard Feelings. He's in Andor, Tesla, The Punisher. And for me, I absolutely love him in The Bear. I got to give Dave all the kudos in the world. For the longest time, he's been saying, you got to watch The Bear. You got to watch The Bear. You got to watch The Bear. And Dave, if he's watching this, you're probably sitting there, Dave, going, how many times does he tell me, hey, you got to watch this? And I go, yeah. I'll get to it. And then I don't get to it. And then I go, did you watch it? And I go, no, I haven't watched it yet. And then it like takes about a couple months, maybe even half a year, and I go, oh yeah, I finally watched it. yeah, it's really good. And he goes, see, this is what I was telling you. It always happens all the time with me and Dave. He suggests something, I take a million years to watch it. And then when I do, I end up liking it and wish I would have watched it right when he said I should have. But that's our cast. And for me, even after sitting here, almost 10 days as I'm recording this, it's the 23rd. It's almost 10 days since we've gotten that. And I'm still unsure of how I feel. I am not super excited, like, yeah, let's go, baby, let's go. This is our Fantastic Four. I'm not like that. And I maybe should be, shouldn't be. I don't even know if I should or shouldn't, because, so here's how I see it. Joseph Quinn is the one I am the least excited for, because for me, looking at him, seeing him, knowing what he's been in, he just doesn't seem like Johnny Storm to me. Maybe because my movie adaptation of Johnny Storm was Chris Evans, was heartthrob, not even Captain America Chris Evans. Like, I'm talking my version of Chris Evans as Human Torch is the not another teen movie Chris Evans. Yeah, remember, he was in that. I'm talking teenage heartthrob Chris Evans. So, like, to me, I look at it and I go, I gotta wait and see. I'm not excited for it. Vanessa Kirby, I think she's gonna do a great job as Susan Storm. She's gonna be a great Invisible Woman. Moss-Bachrach, I love him in The Bear. The Bear, his character in Richie. I think the reason I like it so much is, one, he nailed the Chicago accent very well, and it's one of those things, being from the Chicagoland area, it's like everyone who watches The Bear from Chicago, tell me if I'm wrong, when it comes to Richie, everyone either has a friend or a cousin like Richie, or you know somebody. You have a friend who has a friend or a cousin like Richie. Everybody knows someone that has someone in their family like him. And I was like, oh, chef's kiss. Greatest character in that series. But I think he'll do fine as Ben Grimm. Obviously, he's not going to bring the Chicago accent to it like he did in The Bear. And then Pedro Pascal, I'll be honest, I wouldn't have casted him as Reed Richards. And I'm not even on the, it should have been Krasinski. Krasinski should have been the guy. I'm not even on that bandwagon, because I'm fine if Marvel was like, hey, we don't want to do that. We had him as this version of Reed Richards. This is the main MCU one, so obviously it's got to be different than that, even though you kind of look at it and it's like Doctor Strange has different versions and they're all kind of Benedict Cumberbatch or like Iron Man, or they could have casted Krasinski and made it work. That's what I'm trying to say. But my thought with Pedro Pascal is, and I said this to my buddies when we were talking about it, it almost feels like, and I don't even know if this is the right analogy, but it's the, like, I know the analogy is right. I don't know if the name I'm thinking of is the best one. It's kind of like go back to the 90s or the 2000s, and it's like, oh, we need an action star? Let's put Tom Cruise in it. Or like, oh, there's going to be an action movie. Oh, man, Tom Cruise, he's the front runner. Even though he, like, doesn't fit. Like, for example, when they wanted to do Iron Man back in the 90s, 2000s, Tom Cruise. It's like, Tom Cruise does not fit what Tony Stark would be. And yes, this is after we saw Robert Downey Jr. as it, and Pete surprised everyone. And now that's kind of what we see when we see Tony Stark. I think that's similar here, to where it's like, shoot, we need a big name. Let's get Pedro Pascal. He's good. I'm willing, like, I know he's going to do great in the role. I loved him in Last of Us, loved him in Mandalorian, loved him in Game of Thrones, everything he's been in. Even Wonder Woman, that was a complete mess. 1984 Wonder Woman, complete mess. Loved him in that. So I'm confident that he's going to do a good job. I like Vanessa Kirby. I like Moss-Bachrach. Really, my biggest question mark is Quinn, but I'm willing to be surprised. I'm not saying like, I hate this, throw it out the window. What's going on with this? So that's the first thing, casting. Then the second thing, and we got this from the picture that they put out. Number 2 is the time period. When is this going to take place? And for me, this is what I kind of think it's going to take place. Everyone's thinking in the 60s. You got the Marvel logo kind of looking like 60s-esque. The way that it's designed, it screams 60s. The Time magazine that the Thing is reading is a Time magazine from, I want to say, 63. is what people deciphered from that. So it looks like it's going to be taking place in the 60s. And to me, I don't hate this because, one, the Fantastic Four originated in the 60s. That's pretty much their time period. So, of course, that would be the one that we go with. The thing is, though, and I've seen people say, oh, this is going to be, let's say, like, it's because Grimm's spacesuit in the back, in the photo that was in the back of that picture. Oh, it looks like a spacesuit from the 80s. So maybe they're from the 80s, but they got trapped in the 60s because of all the timeline BS that's going on in the TVA. Not the point. Not the point, Ricky. Not the point. But I don't know if I like that. I don't like that at all. I think if I'm Marvel, how I do it is I do it like Captain America. I do it like Captain Marvel. I do it exactly. The one that I'm really looking at is I do it like Spider-Man Homecoming. And the reason why is I kind of feel like the Batman kind of idea is what we get here, where it's like, okay, you know what? We don't need to know the backstory when it comes to the Fantastic Four. Anyone who's a comic book fan is going to know that backstory. Like, it's not on the level of Batman or Spider-Man, but still, it's like comic book fans are going to know it. And also, I feel like non-comic book fans are going to be like, hey, you know what? I can pick up on things. I'm not a stupid moviegoer. You don't have to play me like I'm a dummy. But yeah, I just look at it and I go, do it like that. Spider-Man Homecoming is perfect. They're already set up as the Fantastic Four. They're doing things. You can do the stuff where it's like, oh, Johnny Storm has already kind of marketed them and they're already celebrities in the world. And that's kind of where I said it. Hey, they're already established as the Fantastic Four. People know about them. What do we do? How are they living in this world and go from there? Exactly. Like I'm saying, exactly how they did Spider-Man Homecoming is kind of where I would do this. Because think about Homecoming. Yes, you had the thing with Vulture at the beginning, but then with Peter Parker, they had the home video that kind of recapped everything from Civil War and stuff. He's in the car with Tony Stark. They kick him out where he's like, oh, I'm an Avenger. Yeah, we'll call you. And then boom, 2 weeks later, he's sitting there on the subway. And it's like, or 2 months later, boom, he's on the subway. That's what I'm looking at. They are already established. Let's go. Number 3, what I kind of want to take a look at is the major villain for this. The rumors are, nothing has been confirmed. And I will say, if you see me like wiping my forehead and stuff, it is hot in my room right now. I have no idea why it's so hot in my room. So I am starting to glisten on the head and the nose. So if you see me kind of wiping my forehead, that's why. Sorry. But the villain for this, number 3. The rumors out there, the speculation right now, and I think that Javier Bardem, he's the one they're looking at to play this. Galactus looks like it's going to be maybe the villain of this, the big villain. And I'm going to say this, I don't know. When I say I don't know how I really feel about this, it's only because, so it's not that I hate Galactus as the big bad for this. I actually want to see Galactus in the MCU. The thing I want to see, though, is I want to see Galactus be that next Thanos type threat. I know that there's, and I didn't really, I'll be honest, didn't see Eternal, so I'm going off of like what I've read and seen other people talk about. Apparently the Galactus in the MCU would be like, oh, he's going after these celestial seed planets and Earth. Theirs is only going to become potent basically in modern day and blah, blah, blah. That's how I see it. Like Galactus is the eater of worlds. Boom, done. That's what he is. You don't need to get all celestial with it. But I look at it and I go, I want him to be a Thanos level threat. And I don't know how you do that if he's just the villain of this. And that's the thing for me. It's like if they do Galactus as the main villain of this movie, my first thought is, how do you do it? Because I'll be honest, I sat here before recording and I'm sitting here and I'm going, all right, how do you do it? how do you do it? How would I do it? And I looked up stories and I'm like, nah, I don't like that. Nah, I don't like that. Oh, that has story. Nah, I don't like that. And I don't know how they would do it. Maybe this is where I ask you. Let me know in the comment section what they should do with it. I feel like he should be the big bad. He should be the Thanos level threat that is coming. And maybe like the Silver Surfer is the one that's the villain. But then it's like, they kind of did that in the second Fantastic Four that came out with the Chris Evans crew. So it's like, do you really want to do that again? I don't know. I really like Galactus. I love the idea of him, but I feel like fighting a Galactus, that is something where you could easily team up the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men, get all like, that's the type of movie where we finally get all the groups, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, all together in one movie to fight that Thanos level threat like Endgame. So like for me, it's like, okay, how do you do it? Because I feel like almost I would have him not be the big bad and kind of the lingering bad, if that makes sense. Like, oh, they're fighting so-and-so, but the lingering threat the whole time is Galactus. Now, let's be honest, I haven't mentioned it. I almost threw up earlier when it came to it. There's probably going to be some TVA BS in this. And like I say TVA BS because I'll be honest, I'm like Mark Webber. If you guys saw our Red Sun when we did a graphic conversation back in the day, Mark hasn't been a huge fan of time travel and any of that. And like, I don't know, this whole stuff with the like, oh, the timeline and the branches. I personally feel like if you're going to do something like that, everything needs to be perfect. You have to have all your ducks in a row. If you don't, it's going to get really messy. People are going to get confused, and therefore, you're going to have to go back and retcon stuff and then say, no, that didn't happen. Forget it. It didn't happen. No. Forget that. And like, I feel like the TVA stuff, cool for a Deadpool, and that's why I think Deadpool should be kill the Marvel Universe. So he rewrites everything, like boom, kill everything. Here we go. No more grand timeline, no more King and the Conqueror, no more that stuff, because it just got real messy. Because if you're not going to do it right and do it to where you have all your ducks in a row, it just gets convoluted. That's the word I think of. And let's be honest, Marvel movies from like the pandemic to now, they've been kind of messes on most of them. So it's like the ducks haven't been in a row for so long. I'm leaning more towards reboot, and a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe would be that reboot. But the fourth thing I want to talk about and kind of get into away from Galactus, because I'll be honest, I think Thanos level threat is where I go. I don't know exactly what you do if he's the big bad of the movie. That's where you guys come in. Fourth thing, though, is a big Doctor Doom size issue. And the thing is, how do you incorporate Doctor Doom into it? And for me, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is the right way. I don't know if many people would agree with me. I don't have him in the movie. I have him mentioned in the movie. They mention Victor because, let's be honest, by mentioning what I said before, the accident had already happened. So if you do that, you can then say, hey, we can mention Victor, mention the accident, but they're not in contact with him. They don't know where Victor is. That's where I set up maybe a post-credit scene at the end where it's Victor Von Doom in, what is it? It's not, what's it called? Something with an L. Oh, I mean, not Lot. Is it Latvia? Is it Latvia? No, it's not Latvia. It's a made-up. Oh, it's a made-up place. It's gonna kill me. Oh, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna have to look it up. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Latveria. That's it. Oh, that was gonna kill me. That was something where I couldn't just leave. Oh, Latvia. Oh, let me know down below. That was something I needed a jump cut. I needed something to break me there because that would have killed me if I didn't get that. Latveria. I would have a post-credit scene where it's like, oh, he's in Latveria. Oh, that then sets up. Oh, that's Wakanda. Oh, is he gonna go after the vibranium? Has he gone after some of the vibranium? Is that how he's already made his suit out of vibranium, linking him to that MCU? That's kind of what I would do. Like, I don't think Von Doom needs to be the villain of one. I just think mention him. Okay, he's there. Boom, post-credit scene at the end. Push it on forward, because the whole reason why I wore this shirt is many speculation is that Marvel is going to say no to Kang Dynasty, that's out. Avengers 5 is just 86th off the menu, and we're just going to go right into Secret Wars at the end. So yeah, I feel like Doctor Doom, you just mention him. He doesn't need to be the big focal point. Give it something new, and then kind of like Spider-Man Homecoming. We didn't get the Green Goblin in Homecoming. We got Vulture. We don't need it doesn't need to, you look at the Batman with Pattinson's Batman. We didn't get the Joker. You don't need to go with the big arch enemy right away. You can go somewhere else. So that's why, to me, mention him, throw him in an after credit, boom, that moves forward. Oh, he's there. And that could be like the big casting announcement. Like, boom, we see who's going to play. We see who's going to play Victor Von Doom going forward in that post-credit scene. I did also want to say, going back to 2 for a hot second, what they'll probably do is the TVA BS will probably be at the end of oh, this is why we haven't seen them for so long, because they were in the 60s and then TVA came and poof, popped them over here and we just haven't seen them in forever. Or, oh, they're in space and they've been in space the whole time. Something like that could be easy to work around it. But yeah, that's going to do it. Let me know what you guys think. I know I crammed a lot into this video. Some of them are not going to have this much crammed into it, but this had some big things. It's kind of like 2 in 1 here that I kind of, boom, jammed together. Let me know what you guys think down below, though, about the casting, about the time period, Galactus, how would you do him for the movie? Doctor Doom, how would you fit him in? Let me know what you guys think down below in that comment section. Remember, if you want to get in on more of these conversations, build a already great community in the Discord, that link is free down below in the description. If you want to support us, patreon.com, that link is down below as well. Hit that sub button to stay up to date with everything we're doing here at MVP. Hit that like button, obviously, if you like this video. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Comment down below. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people who make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you'd like to become a patron, click the link in the description below, and if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Entertainment, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.